All. This is Dr. Mobeen Sayed from drbean.com. Welcome to one more show. So, after months, our last chit chat was on 22nd November. So, here we are. So, I have no particular topic in my mind. You said, let's do a chit chat. So, here I am. Maybe I should just share my screen while we are talking, and I should show you my software. This is the software that I usually use for my paintings. This is called Rebel 5. Although I do not know how well it will behave when we are doing screencast as well, it's quite a processor intensive work or software. So if you see, here is the watercolor, and as if you keep seeing it, you will see this dripping down. So how is everyone? Keeney is saying good night. Good night, Keeney. I know it is late. Paul, hello. Elquin, hello. Saraswati, hello. Kelly, Ramnik, Sigrid. So let's, they're grown now. How about we try to make something of it? So this is oil color. So you saw some of my mixed media paintings. So this is how I do them. I put some splashes of color. Let's put some gray there, some more darker gray. And then let's put some blue here. Then what we can do is we can take a pencil and draw something. So let's say, let me actually go to a different layer. So if I go to a different layer, and then on this layer, let's say we draw something. A dragon like thing. No idea what it is. Snake. This is a snake with weird eyes. And here is the, so this is a snake like thing. Should it have rounded eyes or something like this? Snake like eyes. And then create one more layer. Bring that layer below this. And I'm going to take oil colors. And let's say we take a rather dark orangish color. Or how about we take a reddish bluish color? I don't like the brush. I'm going to change. Let's change this one. Too small. Okay, so this is the one. So this brush is a textured brush. So as you can tell, there is a texture in it. But if I press hard, it will actually draw big chunky strokes. And then if I don't press hard, it does this. So let's say this is a brush. And then we do this for a little snake, which is no way a snake so far. So then we take red color. I want to make a little yellowish red, fire red. Put that in here. I don't like this brush though. I have to change the brush. Let's take flat oily brush. Oh, I like this one. So here is an oily brush. Yes, absolutely. Somebody said it reminds me of DDS says, remind me of a kid drawing. So all of my paintings actually start like this. And then I start just keep painting over them. And then finally they start taking some sort of a shape. And I say, you know what? Good. I got that. So now this snake is developing some shape. And then, so check this out. If I turn on the dirty brush, then what happens is as I draw, the brush keeps becoming just like real traditional medium. The brush just changes, the color changes. So this is what's happening. You tell me what's going on there. Paul said bye. Good night. Barbara is leaving as well. Am I boring you all? Okay, so look at this. So let's go to another watercolor and let's have some discussion as well. Is this the watercolor? Yes. Just look at these colors. I love mixing them like this. Okay, so yes, it's becoming a, and then I'll do some of this over here just for some color change. And I love to see these colors. Old school is leaving. Looks like blood dripping. Yes. So the point is, I really like this software, Rebel 5. So Betsy says, I like learning about your art. Thank you for sharing. Absolutely. And I usually use this one for our lectures. So this one is just very simple. I go in here and you've seen these diagrams from me where I do this. And then, so this is the one that I usually use. And I then color it using just this much. The other one is the one that I use for painting. This one is for teaching because I can really very quickly draw here. It's really simple to draw with. Now I can take this one and do this. So here we are with this one. Let's see what is the other one doing. Rebel. So here is rebel all over the place. If I try to make the same little guy over here as well. So this is a slightly different sort of a software. So here we are. And then what we can do is go back to the watercolor, take some color and do this, and it's going to dissolve. So here we are. Screaming. So I'm just doodling. I'm doing what I really love doing. So Denise is saying the doctor posting is saying it potentially could be a new virus. So more viruses. Yes, Rebel 5 is awesome, as you can tell from here. Its brush engine is beautiful. And actually, the strength of Rebel is this. If I can increase the size for a second to show you, if I zoom in really, really close, you would see that it still does not look like um, digital painting where the pixels become larger. You can actually see that it is still not becoming too jagged. So that is one of their technology. They call it nano pixel technology. And the second one, Alquin says, as Alquin is a big fan of MS Paint. And the second big technology is that, let me show you this. I really am impressed by this. Imagine we have green color. Also, my brush was, imagine we have blue color. And if we then mix some yellow in it, let me bring more yellowish, it will actually make blue, green, just like yellow and blue in our standard traditional medium does that. This is very difficult to do because, so there is a video about how Rebel mixes colors and how did they invent this technology of mixing color that mimic how our traditional medium mixes. And to give you an example, if I mix it here, let's say, and we are getting these colors, correct? Or if I go blue, this is blue. Then if I go to yellow, then if I go to a blender and blend them, you see this little beautiful green, right? Now let me start another program, Clip Studio Paint. So in this one, I'm going to show you how this one does the mixing. So this is Clip Studio Paint, a beautiful program, and I use this very often as well. And let's see if we can show how to mix. So if I'm going to take some blue here, and this is the blue, right? Then I take some yellow. And if you see, if I mix them, this is really not green as we make in traditional medium. This is really blue and yellow being transparent with each other. And that's what it is. But if you go back here to Rebel now, you will appreciate that how blue and yellow, when they are mixed with each other, look how they make this beautiful green. Or if there are artists here, they know that if we mix, let's say, black with yellow, that would also make a beautiful green. And so if I mix them, look what a beautiful green it makes. Do you see it? This is exactly how traditional medium is. That's how traditional medium does. Or if you take, for example, let's say red. Let me take a more beautiful red. Let's say you take red and then you take yellow and then you combine them. This orange that it makes, do you see how beautiful this orange is? This, if I go back here, for example, to Clip Studio Paint and I take yellow and then I take red, this is not really orange, right? This is really just a mixture of yellow and red. It's more of a digital combination. But this is very traditional art like. That is their invention. And if I now zoom out, look at this. So when I paint with them, with this software, it really is almost like painting with um, traditional colors. Elquin says orange pigment bad. Why, Elquin? John says no RGB. Correct. So actually, there is a video for how they invented. So there is a researchers, set of researchers who figured out how to successfully mimic traditional mixing, and it's a very difficult thing to do. Actually, it's not. You might think it is just easy. It's not easy, and they had to research a lot to figure out the formulas that will give rise to this kind of mixing. And I am baffled, just like Dr. Bean's lectures, $67 for 900. Similarly, this software is very inexpensive. For this technology alone, look at this color mixing. Just look at this mixing. For just this technology alone, they should be really in thousands, but they are also very inexpensive. Just look at how beautiful these colors are. So if I take big swatches of colors, look at this. Imagine painting with this kind of a software. That's what I do. I really enjoy it. Do you see how it mixes? Check this out. Uh, Tiff, this is Rebel. Rebel. Let me actually. So Tiff says, "What is this software?" Let me actually open a. I am opening so many softwares and things, my computer would crash. So this is Rebel 5. So Rebel. This is the software, and I'm sure that they have holiday offer. Look at this one. Special offer. Share a new Rebel 5, $89. Rebel's personal $39. I bought it for, I think, 260, but I bought a bunch of other packages with it. But 39 is beautiful. So the capability to mix, and if you take a watercolor, then this, look at this. In watercolor, they have a complete different world. So if I take this color over here and I do this wash, look at how it will actually start developing the color grain, and it would start flowing. And you can control the flow from here. You can say, all right, it should flow to the left. And you would see it would start going to the left side. I can add more water to it. So I can say, wet the layer. And you can probably see that as the layer is okay, so I am showing you here. So look, the layer is, if I now add another color, not only this second color will mix with this one, but it will flow like water. And I can change the direction of the water flow. I can add water to this layer. I can dry it like a normal regular watercolor medium. Do you see? So it is such a beautiful software. Absolutely. So primal colon is saying like a 3D water. Absolutely. Emball says, what is this? This is Rebel 5, a painting software that I use to do the painting. It's a beautiful software. John says, if you print those mixed screen colors into a real canvas, do they match on the canvas? So yes, they have color spaces that match with the traditional painting colors. So if I show you, where are the colors? So if I go here, you would see these are the color. For example, you can have titanium white and cadmium orange and cadmium red and so on. So these are traditional colors. So when they produce that and you print it, it actually looks very real. It not only it looks real, it actually has the texture of the brushes. So let me bring a brush here. Let's say this is oil brush flat. Just look at its texture. If I take flat dry, this is that. If I take flat only, that is this. And let me bring in knives. They actually, so if I go here, rake, brushes, my brushes, round, here are the knives. So let's say if I take this knife smooth, this is actually very knife like. Look at the texture. And if I take, let's say, a blue color, let's say cobalt blue, and if I set it up to paint and mix, can you see how beautiful this software is? Look at how it is painting and mixing like an actual knife painting. And if I just mix it, if you are a traditional painter, you would know this feeling, how the oily brush has the paint on it, and wherever you paint with it, it just takes that paint with it. That's what it's doing. Look at this. So it's a beautiful technology. It is such a beautiful thing. So look at this. So this is a knife, and then if I go in here and blend it, do you see how I don't know if I can express myself. This is such a beautiful thing to do. Just see how well. And then their zoom levels, if I keep zooming in, it does not blow up like a pixel that are jagged. It actually stays within as if it is traditional medium. Look at this. You see this? Just check this out. I don't know if I am boring you or not, but this is what happens when I am sitting, and I hope some of you remember I did this painting a few days ago. Um, the Let me open it. I am sure that you have seen it. I just want to show you again. I did that painting in, so I did this painting a few days ago. I posted it as well. This one. I did this in Rebel. Then I did this one before that. This is also in Rebel. Then I did, I think I did this one. I do not know if I actually posted it. Let me see. It's in the wild. So I did this a few days ago. Did I post this? I do not know if I posted it or not. But this is also in Rebel. And you can imagine how easy it is to paint these because of the Rebel's brushes and colors and mixing. It almost looks like normal traditional medium. Yeah, so the sunset one, let me see if I can um, bring that one up. This one. I did this in Rebel as well. And then I did one more, which I cannot find, but I actually really liked it. I'll give me a second. That I loved because of its mixed media nature. So did this one with Rebel. I'm finding the other one. I did this a few days ago. It's kind of not finished yet, but I do not know if you like the color schemes here and the clouds. So old school says you posted it. Very interesting. So I did this one, then um, then if I can find, I cannot find the other one, but that was a very cool painting as well. That was that child. So this is what I use. Check this out. You are looking at just this little part of it. And this part itself just looks like a painting. And then I can go in here. I can add another layer. I can bring in some watercolor, put that over here. Then bring in some more watercolor. And these watercolors are now going to just dissolve in here. I can do a flat wash, color, a little more wash here. And then I can add water to this layer. Oh, that dried it up. So wet the layer, wet more. And as you can see, it is now running. Can you see how this part is dripping? So this is how it works. Look what it is doing here. Ramnik says it looks like a skull multicolored. KB says, is this only for computer? Yes, it is only for Mac or PC. It is not on iPads or others, unfortunately. But on iPad, a similarly equally good is Fresco. Fresco also has color mixing like this. Primal says reverting is cool. Will tell my art friends about the software. Absolutely. So let me do one more rewetting and it would start running again. And then you can even decide which direction it will go. So it's just very interesting. And can you, this always baffles me that we were just looking at this little part, which is really here. No other software can do this. Look at this. Yes, I did post that one on the community tab. Let me see if I can find it. That was YouTube Dr. Bean. If I go to community, if I bring that over, that was this one. So I really loved this one. This is War. And I did this in Rebel as well. So all of these grays are actually watercolor with some orange and yellow. These are all watercolors. And then the girl, the little baby, and then her balloon, that was all in oil colors. Again on Rebel. Maggie says, love that one. Thank you very much. But it seems like I had not posted this one. I probably thought that the one with the clouds. Um, Jariel says, is this Rebel sponsored? No. But I think they just have in general um, lots of, look at the prices. Rebel 5 personal for individual non-commercial, $40. Creative package. I think I had bought this one. They also have, let me show you one more thing that they have with Rebel. They call it Flame. Let me open this one. So with this one, you can actually create, look at this, flames. So do you see it? You can create flames and you can be very creative to create backgrounds. So this is one other software that I bought with it. They call it Flame Painter. And if you see, there are so many kind of brushes that you can use to paint these flames. I cannot imagine this whole thing is all of it just in three $260 or so. So this is also a part of Rebel, separately purchasable. And then let me show you one more. They call it Amber Light. So this is Amber Light. So here you can create lights by creating um, these little handles, and you move them and change them, and then it would create this little light show. And you can decide the colors, and as you can see, these controls on the side, and then you can play them. And as you move these, it will play, because what happens is, so imagine if you take this one and move it here, then you bring the head for here and here. So now if you play it, right? So if you then export this, it would become that little, without these circles, it will become a flame that is moving around. So they have this. And then, of course, so look at this. Creative Pack, I think, has all of those. Rebel Personal is here. Then Flame Painter, I just showed you that. Amber Light, I showed you. I think I have in Spirit as well. I've not used it, and so on. Tiff says, good for neuron animations if something similar. Yes. So John says, did you buy a new drawing tablet? No. So this is still the broken one. I just kind of self repaired it. So Maggie says, can we purchase a print of the war piece? The little child just melts my heart. Yes. Um, what I have to do is to put it on Etsy. I will do that. And I will then maybe post that link on YouTube community tab. Jean Oliveira, thank you very much. Let me see if I can find the actual painting for War, because I loved it too, and I somehow am not able to find it. It was called war.png. So, no, let me find it on my PC. I'm sure I have it on my iCloud Drive photos as well. So let's see. War. There. Okay, so it was war.jpg instead of png. So here is the painting. I really like it because although I painted it, still the child facing away from the balloon, and then her posture is very defiant, even when she's stuck in all of this bad state. And that is what is the resilience of a child, that children are very, uh, very defiant. They're very resilient, but at the same time, wars. So this balloon is blood red, and then the child is there, and there are gray clouds, and they're trapped by these dripping clouds. So So I love this painting. And now we have this. This is the beauty of the rebel. If you go into any part of it, it looks like a piece of art. Look, thank you. Yeah, 99 red balloons, correct. So, how is your weekend going to be? What is the. Oh, I have to also share some things that I'm going to do. One, of course, we'll have our walks. So, tomorrow is walk at 7 a.m. Pacific time. I have the Zoom link published multiple times. I'll publish that once again tomorrow. It's on Discord as well. The other thing I was thinking of doing was um, I want to bring a special chit chat with specific topics from the community, but on Patreon. So that way people can sponsor it with $5 per month, but then they can ask questions that are related to the topics that they feel are interesting for them. So that is another thing I want to do. And then finally, I'm thinking of doing a web conference maybe, requesting various doctors to join me and discuss the long COVID management. And I want to bring in neurologists, for example, cardiologists, mainstream doctors who have been managing this and have a discussion with them. What did you think? And Tiff says, where did you get your sweater? This is my wife's area. I'll have to ask her where did she get them, but she buys me these sweaters. Michael says it's going to rain tomorrow. Yes, it's been raining for a few days. Texas says, but you'll have to behave. Yes, I'll have to behave. So Cynthia says, if you press save, can you go back on Rebel and change the uh, paintings? Absolutely. Let me see if I can. I'll share my screen. So, for example, this is the that war painting, and so you can come in here and you can change it. Although I'm just scratching and scribbling, but yes, you can. So if I take a, let's say, oil colors, if I take a round soft oil color, here it is. So yes, you can change it. For example, I really thought it should just become a little more like this over here. I do not like the brush that I'm using, but as you can tell, so you can do this. You can, of course, come in with the watercolor and you can do this. So, to answer your question, Cynthia, yes, definitely. But I would. yes, you can change it. KB says, "What is your Etsy shop?" So I believe a Cool Bean had actually set it up for me and sent it to me, and I never used it. So I will have to set it up and then share with you. Primal says that undo on a canvas is a lot harder. Absolutely. And if you see my layers, I actually do not like to use multiple layers. Um, because of that, if you see, here is one layer for the water and balloon and child, and that's it. This the third layer is my signature. The point is, even while using digital software, I actually work on a single layer most of the time. So undo is the only way to correct. Otherwise, you actually have to correct it once you save it. And I don't like to have multiple layers. So if I have to correct it, I have to do it very traditional painting process like correction. Laurie says that is an amazing program and it helps that you can draw. Yes. So of course, a an idea is the primary thing. Liberty says, "I love this picture. Listen to you in Orlando on CEU today. We were great. Thank you. You were great. Thank you for your hard work. You're very welcome. Thank you." Um, Ramnik says, "Is it cloud?" Yes. So these are dark clouds. John says, "I would order a print on high quality." Definitely. And here is the beauty of this software. When you have the prints, you would see that they do not look like digital paint. They actually, and there is a um, special setting for it as well, which says nano pixel setting, which makes it even better. So even this little jagged thing that you're seeing, even that goes away. And it actually looks like actual paint. And if you see, look at the paint texture. Do you see the texture here? So when it is painted, until you touch it, it actually looks like painted. So with this, give me your comments on these three things. One is the chit chat on Patreon, and the second one is a conference, and then the third one is just the regular things that we've been doing. Tiff says, "How long does it take to paint something like that?" So, Tiff, I painted this one. Um, so the time went into painting the the child and the into the idea for that. Once the idea is there, then painting over it is easy. Similarly, if I go to this one, your memories, this one I did in 1 hour. So it really depends how detailed. So if you see here, there is actually no structure. These are just hints of some trees and water, but there is actually no tree. There is no tree here. It's just blob of color. And similarly, there are no trees here. So I did this in 1 hour. Chanel channel name says, "What is the name?" This is called Rebel 5. Rebelle. Roller Girl says, Love to all. Bye for now. Absolutely. Bye. So, with this, thank you very much, everyone. This is what I'll be doing tomorrow. I'll do some more paintings. So, Tona says, I'm interested in a cancer diet exercise topic. Absolutely. So, we'll take it. Um, so, to be able to sustain my work, my hope is that I'll start some chit chats more specific to Cool Beans and with on Patreon. So that way they can contribute and they can have those discussions too. So thank you very much. Have a great weekend. We'll have our walk tomorrow at 7 a.m. Pacific time on Zoom. And I would see you on Monday tomorrow as well. Bye bye. Jean says yes to the Patreon topic and to the conference. Excellent. Bye bye, guys and gals.